Imagine a time long before history was written, before kings and empires, before even the first spoken names. This is where our story begins beneath the vast, ancient skies of Africa. Here, in the cradle of humanity, our earliest ancestors took their first uncertain steps. They were not the strongest or the fastest creatures, but they possessed something far more powerful, a spark of ingenuity. They learned to master fire, turning night into day and raw food into nourishing meals. Around its warmth, they gathered, forging bonds and sharing wordless stories. They shaped stone, creating tools that extended the reach of their hands and their minds. This wasn't just survival, it was the dawn of invention. In a world of brutal, natural power, their greatest strength was not found in tooth or claw, but in cooperation. They learned to work together, to protect one another, and to build the first fragile communities. This collective spirit, this shared struggle and triumph, was the true beginning of what it means to be human. Even then, in the flickering firelight, you could see more than just instinct. You could see curiosity, imagination, and the quiet, profound awareness of existence. As millennia passed, the world itself began to change. The great ice sheets that had gripped the planet retreated, and new fertile lands beckoned. Driven by this ancient curiosity, humanity began its great migration. They walked out of Africa and into the unknown, crossing vast deserts, scaling treacherous mountains, and even venturing across oceans on simple rafts. They adapted to every climate, from scorching heat to bitter cold, populating every corner of the globe. This incredible journey across the earth was humanity's first great epic. And then, something revolutionary happened. In several places around the world, our ancestors made a discovery that would change our destiny forever: agriculture. They learned to plant seeds and harvest crops, transforming their nomadic existence into a settled one. For the first time, they could stay in one place, build permanent homes, and watch their communities grow. This shift from hunting and gathering to farming was not just a change in diet, it was a change in the very fabric of society. With permanence came surplus, and with surplus came specialization. Not everyone needed to be a farmer anymore. Some became builders, others artisans, and others leaders. Villages swelled into towns, and towns grew into the world's first cities. It was along the fertile banks of great rivers, the Nile in Egypt, the Tigris and Euphrates in Mesopotamia, the Indus in India, and the Yellow River in China, that civilization truly blossomed. Here, humanity learned to organize on a massive scale. They developed complex systems of governance and law to maintain order. They built magnificent temples to honor their gods and grand monuments, like the pyramids, that seemed to touch the heavens. And most importantly, they invented writing. This was a monumental leap, allowing them to record their history, their laws, their stories, and their knowledge for future generations. Culture was born from the ashes of mutual survival. Shared identity, belief, and order became the new foundation upon which humanity would build its future. The rise of cities and civilizations set the stage for a new chapter in our story, the Age of Empires. From the sun-baked lands of the Mediterranean to the sprawling plains of Asia, powerful rulers carved out vast territories through conquest and ambition. The Persians, the Romans, the Han Dynasty, these great empires connected diverse peoples and cultures on an unprecedented scale. Their roads were not just for armies, but for merchants, scholars, and ideas. Knowledge began to travel like never before. In ancient Greece, thinkers like Plato and Aristotle wrestled with fundamental questions about existence, ethics, and politics, laying the groundwork for Western philosophy. Farther east, during the Islamic Golden Age, scholars in Baghdad and Cordoba preserved and expanded upon the knowledge of the ancient world, making breathtaking advances in mathematics, medicine, and astronomy. In China, inventors gave the world gunpowder, paper, and the compass. Across the ocean, In the Americas, civilizations like the Maya and the Inca developed complex calendars and built stunning cities in the heart of the jungle and high in the Andes. This global exchange of ideas was not always peaceful, but it was always transformative. Then in Europe, a new era dawned, the Renaissance. It was a rebirth of art, science, and humanism. This renewed thirst for understanding, coupled with new technologies in navigation, fueled an age of exploration. European ships sailed to the farthest reaches of the globe, connecting continents that had been isolated for millennia. For the first time, humanity became a truly global presence, a complex and interconnected network of civilizations. This new global connection kicked off an era of change so rapid it would have been unimaginable to our ancestors. The Industrial Revolution began, and machines started to do the work of human hands, reshaping labor, society, and the very landscape of our world. Cities exploded in size, drawing millions from the countryside with the promise of work. Then came electricity, banishing the night and powering a new world of invention. The 20th century saw this acceleration continue at a dizzying pace. Science unlocked the fundamental secrets of the universe, from the atom to the DNA that codes for life itself. We learned to fly, breaking the bonds of gravity. We developed medicines that doubled our lifespan. We even left our planet behind, stepping onto the surface of the moon and sending probes to the outer reaches of the solar system. In just a few decades, we created the Internet, shrinking the world into a global village where information travels at the speed of light. We are now living in a world defined by digital connection, artificial intelligence, and genetic engineering. We stand on the precipice of a future that is being shaped in real time by our own creations. But our long journey from the African savanna to this modern, technological world is not just a story of progress and invention. It is a story of choice. At every step, we have faced fundamental questions about who we are and who we want to be. The story of humanity is not finished. It's being written every single day. It's written in how we choose to balance our incredible power with wisdom, how we guide our relentless innovation with compassion, and how we temper our own needs with our responsibility to the planet and to the generations that will follow us. The future is our next great unknown, and the pen is in our hands. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through time. If you found this story of humanity as fascinating as we do, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more explorations into our past, present, and future. We'll see you in the next one.